Let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. A lineup shakeup worked so well for Tennessee and the Supers that Coach Karen Weekly's doing it again. We highlight Pannell, Nugent, and Gibson. Those are the big boppers. Pretty simple this season for Tennessee. When they have run support for Karlyn Pickens, they win. And those are the batch to watch in their lineup, especially Nugent, who is a former Oklahoma Sooner with a national championship ring from a couple of years ago. They will face Sam Landry, the transfer from Louisiana, 23 wins on the season, and this week named a second-team All-American.
Oh, Sam Landry's been outstanding in the circle this year. A curveball that should go in and away from lefties. How about the screwball inside and the off speed? This rotation on the off speed has downward movement, so it's just, it explodes down toward the dirt. But it's really a screwball that she gets underneath the righty's hands, and it's been a dominating pitch for her.
She lost against Tennessee twice during the regular season when the Lady Vols went into Norman and took 2 of 3, a series they point to as a big turning point and confidence booster for them. But Sam Landry has won her last 5 starts here down the stretch. For Patty Gasso's club, winners of 8 national championships, she's tied with Mike Candrea of Arizona for the most titles. A win this year would give her 9, and she would stand alone atop the pecking order. And Karen Weekly, big stories for Tennessee, Texas, and Oregon are here. They have come many times. They have come up short on each of those occasions, looking for that breakthrough to win the program's first national championship. This is a rematch of the 2013 final, won by the Sooners. Gabby Leach leading things off, the starting right fielder. And in for a strike from Sam Landry.
Watch that side of the plate. You're going to see these Tennessee batters. The lefties are going to kind of crowd with the front foot. Gabby Leach will kind of step towards that line, looking for middle away.
Leach laces one out to left center, and a leadoff hit for Tennessee.
This is part of the approach. They faced Jordy Ball last weekend. A lot of arm side, meaning awaited these lefties. Watch Gabby Leach come across the plate. She actually got called out of the box last weekend. That's how much she'll come across. Beautiful job on a pitch middle away. What she was hunting, and she got it.
So with one on, here is Taylor Pannell. Phenomenal during the regular season, winning All-American honors. And now has to rediscover that swing in the postseason. Just a couple of hits in the NCAA tournament. One of the big offseason moves at Tennessee, the Malveaux combo that were assistant coaches for Karen Weekly, both left. Kate and Chris, now the co-head coaches at Auburn. So some new additions to the staff, including Craig Snyder, who's been terrific as their hitting coach. And how about this? They're going to start out with a couple of hits. That one's going to be for extras. They'll hold Leach up at third, and she runs through the stop sign. And wow, will be able to scoot back to the base. Lucky break there for Tennessee, and they've got 2 in scoring position immediately.
Well, that's a curveball in the outer half that just gets hammered into that gap. It gets through and past Dayton and Barker in right field. And Leach didn't get the best of jump, but you could see Karen Weekly had her hand right in her face.
And here is Ella Dodge, who had that phenomenal Super Regional Series. Leach is going to try and score, and she will dive in safely. And in a matter of minutes, Tennessee strikes.
Holy smokes, too. And a rare ball that gets by Bella Emmerling. And this is more of a pass ball, just doesn't quite catch it. But how about the jump from Leach? She does not very far off the bag. I don't know why Emmerling doesn't try to toss it. Either way, I think Leach gets in there. But Tennessee, foot on the accelerator. Right here, we've only seen about 6 pitches.
Patty Gasso not enthused with the start. 9th pass ball of the year for Emmerling. And again, every coach that comes here tells you it's so important to jump in front, get the early lead, get your confidence up.
Ball out.
That pitch missed away.
When you can see the defense is going to be in. Gabby Garcia, the shortstop, well in. Adbayani at second base as well.
One of the things that Craig Snyder was telling us yesterday, what great preparation it was to see Jordy Ball last week to get ready for Sam Landry this week. Former head coach himself, longtime assistant with Lonnie Alameda at Florida State.
So we had them in Knoxville last week, and when I was asking Craig about the approach for Tennessee against, at the time, Jordy Ball, Nebraska, and he said, we went back and watched film on Sam Landry. They are so similar in the side of the plate that they hit, and now here they are facing Sam Landry.
Well, Landry giving up that 0-2 double to Panel. That was really the big bat they needed to get started. And you can see the percentage. Drop ball, a little bit more for Landry, but the same primary pitches, drop, change, rise.
Landry dials back in, and a strikeout, 1 away. She's been tested as well this season, 11-4 against ranked opponents.
And Landry comes inside. This is the pitch, because I'll tell you what, Tennessee is prepared for just the opposite. We talked about it on the hit to Leach, and now she comes back. Instead of staying away, she came back in.
Here is Sophia Nugent. Takes a look at strike 1 out of Seal Beach, California. 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in so far in the NCAA tournament. And a called strike 2. Susan Eads behind the plate. John Baca, Chris Neighbors, Chad Steers on the bases today.
And this is where Landry is very unique. This is a curveball coming into lefties. Will be away from right. Look at her arm. Look how far away her arm is from her body. So she's getting around that hip, that rotation on that ball. That is a very unique and different look. You do not see that. Most times the arm is brushing the thigh or the quad. She's a good 5 inches or more away from her body.
Oh, 2 pitch. Barker tracks that down, but that'll be deep enough to get another run in. And Nugent with the sac fly, 2-0 Tennessee.
How about 2 strikes swinging, 2 for Nugent? This is a pitcher's pitch. It's a changeup. I mean, this is 0-2, and you talk about protecting. Look at where Nugent gets to. This pitch is low and away, and she just throws her hands. Enough power to get another run in for Tennessee. A beautiful job of separation with her hands to get to a pitcher's pitch.
Well, Nugent loves it against her former teammates. And Jen Rocha, the pitching coach, out to talk with Landry. Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Michelle, you talked about that unique arm angle of Sam Landry, and she told us yesterday that that is something she's tried to change through the years. It's her arm slot, and she said that's just where it feels the most comfortable, coming around my hip like that. When she got to Oklahoma, they tried to change some of her mechanics, make her a little bit more square to the plate, but she said, I just naturally go back to that arm slot. That seems to be what works best for her.
Yeah, and Holly, it is unique. You don't see it much as a hitter, so where you're usually usually looking, the ball's not coming from. So, actually, I think it many times works to her advantage.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Tennessee looks to be ready for it. Here is Boo Gibson. Senior out of Southern California. 3 for 13 with a home run so far in the postseason. 4-year starter at Tennessee. And her second trip here to Oklahoma City. They were here a couple of years ago. McKenna, her given name, but I had to look it up on the roster as being calling her Boo for 4 years. There's the 1-1.
Any Monsters, Inc. fans? Yes. With the baby Boo from that movie, that's what her mom used to call her when she was little. Looked very similar to
Very.
the moon, that
Yes.
Pixar movie.
Takes a strike there, 2-2. So the Sooners in the opening frame, first 5 games, only 1 hit allowed. 2 here in the first for Tennessee. Sooners rolled through the regionals untested. Then they swept a couple from Alabama in the Supers. Back here at the World Series for the 9th year in a row. The last 5, they have been to the finals.
That's a good take by Boo Gibson. Back-to-back changeups hard into the hands that she fouls off, and then a rise ball she takes, does not bite.
Good eye from the veteran. Full count. And Gibson drops that one in the bucket. Nice play by Nelly McEnroe-Marinas. Taking that off the bounce. But a couple runs across quickly for Tennessee. Tennessee jumping in front of Oklahoma. Sooners picking up the bats as we look at our starting lineups. Brought to you by Capital One. And for the 8-time champs, Pickering, Parker, and Sanders highlighted. They are the lone returnees in the starting lineup from their title team a year ago. The roster turnover having to replace what Patty Gasso says is the best senior class she's ever coached, certainly the most successful in the history of the sport. And yet here they are right back knocking on the door at the World Series. And they will face Karlyn Pickens, the junior out of Weaverville, North Carolina. Yesterday named a first-team All-American and has won the last 2 SEC Pitcher of the Year awards.
She is dominant in the circle, a 1.0 ERA, a whip even below 1. It's tough to get on against Karlyn Pickens.
She got better with each game in the Super Regional. 3 straight days head-to-head against Nebraska and Jordy Ball. And I'm sure you've heard of the velocity there at 76. She's topped out at 78 and then broke that record last weekend with a 79-mile-an-hour pitch. And here is Cassidy Pickering to start things off. Another first-team All-American. Lights out so far in the postseason, hitting .500. And she was 7 for 8 against Tennessee in their regular season series. I mean, their OPSs are ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's for the season. I mean, usually you see that for like 2 weeks.
A series, maybe?
Yes.
The average, by the way, I think is 8.26. So hers is 14.22. She's one of 3 players with an OPS of over 1,200 in this lineup.
They're playing her to pull. Third base, Taylor Panel is playing in the shortstop position. They are way shifted over. There's a ton of room down that line.
A ton of room down that line. You can see it.
Pickering almost went that way.
Well, it's hard not to notice. You're up to bat, and then you start to think, okay, are they going to come in on me? They went away there.
Well, and you expect her to be late and actually spray to the left side, so I'm surprised they're actually that far off the line.
I mean, that is a huge gap.
She does pull it, and well positioned is Gabby Leach out and right. One down, and here comes Ella Parker. Another first-team All-American, getting some info from Pickering as she heads back to the dugout. Has really hit well in the second half of the season, dealing with a foot injury that's been lingering all year long, and she's just playing through the pain. And that right foot.
A lot of it is pain management and just taking care of it as much as you can.
Wow, get in her kitchen. And Ella Parker, you guys, she's got quick hands. We've talked about the velocity from Karlyn Pickens, so that was 76 inside.
Yeah, inside
was late.
That makes that feel like 80 inside.
Yeah, when it's
low and away.
in on the hands. And Parker, she's talking about how hot of a bat. She's 0 for 6 against Pickens. Remember, Pickens beat Oklahoma twice this year.
Back-to-back changeups. They're not they're 66 miles an hour, so it's hard to call them changeups, but they're still really fast.
Yeah, I feel like we can't really call it off speed. It's more like gears.
Yes.
Okay, that's first gear. Parker gets a hold of one. And Ella Parker, her first hit of the year off of Pickens is a home run.
You guys, 76 miles an hour on the first pitch. What happened? Ella Parker was late. She got it by her. Then she throws a changeup, comes back, same location. You guys, this is making adjustments within an at-bat that is so hard. You're talking straight heat inside after she had just missed that same exact pitch. She gets to it. That she eliminates the stride, just uses her hands. This is how good Parker is. Almost 80 miles an hour off the bat, out of here.
And that got out in a hurry.
Wow.
The 2-strike home run from Parker.
That's just the 7th home run of the year that Pickens has given up.
That's a big subplot, right? I mean, Oklahoma's the second best home run hitting team in the country, and Pickens, it's rare that you take her deep. Here's Nellie Mack, the redshirt freshman from Hawaii, who sat out last year due to injury, but has been so impactful that she wears the captain's C on her chest this year. They have had youngsters, they have had transfers. Step right in to fill big holes, big shoes. And as they were talking in the studio pregame, it's been a joy for Patty Gasso with all the coaching that they've required. And to watch this team grow as Pickens gets the strikeout, 2 down. And that'll bring up Gabby Garcia, and an early buzz around Devon Park with a couple of Tennessee runs and a Parker home run here in the first.
Well, it's power versus power, right? And when you're trying to hit that power, you just got to get that barrel to the ball. And Pickens is supplying everything that you need for that ball to leave the yard.
Garcia out to center. Kinsey Fiedler is there. Side retired. Sooners get one back in a big way and one big swing.
Talked about Ella Parker. Just the last month of the season, you guys, she had struggled midway through, and you see the ball given to mom and dad. But this right here is what Ella Parker has done all season long, is adjust. First pitch misses it, then comes back, knocks this one out very quickly, and Oklahoma's on the board, down 2-1.
2-1 Tennessee over Oklahoma as we send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, it's been quite a journey for Oklahoma pitcher Sam Landry. She started her softball career in Mont Belvieu, Texas, about 35 minutes outside of Houston. She said her dad handed her a softball and there was no discussion. She didn't get to argue. She was going to be a pitcher. She grew up and she said, you know, I was actually kind of a clumsy kid, but she has stepped into her dominance. Growing up, she was great, but when she got to ULL, she became one of the best pitchers in that school's history. 2.08 ERA last year, but when they lost their coach, she decided to spread her wings. Here she is at Oklahoma, starting in the World Series. A new journey for Sam.
Yeah, when Jerry Glasgow left to take the Texas Tech job, ironically enough, after Craig Snyder left to go to Tennessee, Sam and Jerry agreed he was going to go to Texas Tech, where he ended up getting Nigeri Kennedy, and she was going to find a new place, and loved her trip here to Oklahoma. So she is the latest in a line of big-name transfer pitchers that come here to try and win a national championship, like Kelly Maxwell last year, G. Juarez a few years back, Paige Lowry.
And I wouldn't say she's reinvented herself, but she's absolutely made some great adjustments with Jen Rocha, the pitching coach at Oklahoma.
6, 7, 8 here for Tennessee. This is Laura Mueller.
Patty Gasso calls Jen Rocha the best pitching coach in the country, and she has really been able to work with a lot of these athletes that come in. So look at her, she calls the pitches, works with them in the pen, gets the most amount of strengths out of their pitchers that she can.
Mueller with a base hit. All right, Tennessee's plan at the plate has been on point. Already their third hit, 6 batters in.
And Landry hasn't really gotten settled in. This is a changeup left up in the zone, not the location she wants that pitch. She wants it down below the knees, and Mueller takes advantage. In fact, she gets around that pitch. Another hit for Tennessee. That's the third.
Here's Kinsey Fiedler, the transfer from Washington. Played with the Huskies at the World Series a couple of years ago, and now here with Tennessee. Karen Weekly says she provides the swag and the confidence in this lineup. Those are good things to have when you want to be a coach one day. Kinsey said, let everybody know out there, I'm looking for a good job after I graduate this year. So there you go. Call Fiedler.
Love it.
She'll step out after the swing and miss.
Aggressive on a 2-0 count. I like that. You get something that you're hunting, put a big cut on it.
Two.
And this was the pitch you're going to see a lot of from Landry. She's going to throw that 70-mile-an-hour down pitch, and then she's going to come back at 55 miles an hour. A lot of effective velocity used on both sides of the ball for this Oklahoma program.
From 55 miles an hour up to 71. 30th pitch of the day coming, and it's 3-2. Stay foul.
So Landry typically will throw that changeup about 24% of the time. It's going to be well above that in this game.
Waits on the 3-2 pitch. Caught it second, diving back in safely is Mueller. One down.
A lot of hard contact with 2 strikes. And that's what we're seeing last inning. 2 of the big hits came with 2 strikes. That's an out. And another changeup. It hit hard.
Here's Emma Clark, the DP, in the 8th spot in the lineup. Freshman out of Cleveland, North Carolina.
Guys, this is also advantage hitters when it's SEC on SEC. I mean, they have played. They're very familiar with each other. They understand exactly what they're going to face, and these very elite pitchers, but multiple at-bats.
Well, you hear coaches all the time, you want to play a tough schedule to get your team prepared. Karen Weekly this year, they have played 5 of the 7 other teams that are here at the World Series. So they've seen these arms. Of course, everybody else has seen Pickens too.
That's where you have to be creative. It's not being predictable. I mean, you're going to go back, and as a hitter, I want to know exactly how you threw me. How'd you get me out? Now I'm going to have a plan against that. Landry trying to mix speeds, frustrated with that last call. She thought that was a strike. Looked like it got the corner in the inside part of the plate. Instead, it's 3-0.
That one's at the knees for a strike. 3-1. Out to right center, and back it goes. One hop off the wall. And the runner will hold and dive back in. Mueller at third base. And 2 in scoring position for Tennessee for the 2nd inning in a row.
Emma Clark taking a pitch that's middle, 3-1 count, right at the knees, goes down and elevates this pitch into the gap. I thought this was a huge opportunity for Tennessee to get another run in. Once it gets to the wall, I thought Mueller would come around, playing it safe. They kept her at third.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to be sending Mueller all the way from first as well. Gets all the way to the opposite gap.
So 2 in scoring position for the 9-hitter Savia Morgan. And Karen again putting the stop sign on.
Mueller was ready, though.
Yeah. And Rocha will come out to talk to Landry. And this is a big moment for Savia Morgan. So in the supers, there was an error committed by Morgan, the starting left fielder. And they brought her in off the bench the last 2 games of the super. And so now Karen inserting her back into the starting lineup. As we've talked about, this is a whole new ball game, brand new day when you get to the World Series. And she has a big moment right here at the plate for Tennessee to pay back her coach for the confidence to put her back in there today.
Well, it is all about being able to bounce back, whether or not you're a pitcher, a fielder, a hitter. When the opportunity is in front of you, you got to snatch it.
How do you rebound?
Defense for Oklahoma is going to be pulled well in.
Morgan's going to crowd that plate. Her toes are on that line, trying to take away the inner half.
Cannot have any part of your big toe, your pinky toe, not nothing outside the chalk when you make contact.
That's part of the plan last week against Jordy Ball. Hunt a certain part of the plate. Very clear what Morgan is hunting here.
To the right side, Sanders coming home, and they've got Mealer in a pickle. Nellie Mack, the throw to the plate, and the tag is applied by Sanders for the second out of the inning.
There's actually nobody hurt on this play because both runners end up getting in the scoring position again because she was able to stay, Mealer was able to stay in a pickle. She was able to allow the runners to advance, get back into second and third. They would have gotten it out anyway at first base, but they're putting the pressure on Oklahoma's defense. Mealer staying in that pickle allows runners to get to second and third.
Yeah, and that's a well-run pickle and run down by Oklahoma's defense where they followed their throw, and Sid Sanders was in the right spot at home to be able to make that tag.
Infield defense can go back to regular depth. Gabby Leach in the top of the order. She singled and scored in the first. Landry just missed away. Pitch count climbing. 2 earned runs allowed in her first 4 appearances, 2 today. As the Sooners were able to advance with relative ease to get back to the World Series. Slow roller to short. Garcia gets the out. A threat for Tennessee, and they are left wanting. Still up a run on opening day in OKC. It's time to play You Be the Third Base Coach. Michelle Smith, to send or not to send?
Yeah, I think in this situation, I would have sent Mealer coming all the way around from first base. Now, it's an outstanding relay. Abeyani, though, has the ball here, and she is a third of the way down the baseline. This is the World Series. You've got to push it. You have to have pedal to the metal. I think that you have to force Oklahoma's hand and make them make that throw perfectly to home plate. There's defensive obstruction, and so there's all sorts of things that could pop up. You've got to keep putting runs up on the board against Oklahoma.
They would have had to make a perfect play. And they could have. And
they could have.
But you push it. I mean.
Yeah.
And that was with 1 out. So you weren't out of the inning.
The other aspect of that is that you had your number 9 hitter coming up. You had not, so I'm probably sending her in that situation.
The 2 at-bats after that, Oklahoma got outs and got out of the inning. Still trailing 2-1. 5, 6, and 7 for the Sooners. Early fireworks in our second game of the day. Night session will be a fun one as well. First timers Texas Tech and Ole Miss at 7 o'clock. And then Oregon UCLA in the nightcap. Those games over on ESPN2. Winner of this one will play Texas Saturday afternoon. The loser has Florida tomorrow night. Win or go home. Beth Mullins, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe with you. Sydney Barker has come on of late. The freshman from Rockland, California, in the starting lineup in May, playing first base in the outfield, now on a 7-game hitting streak. That included a 2-homer game in the SEC tournament. In that spectacular comeback to rally to beat Arkansas.
And she was a hitter off the bench. You'd see her come in, pinch hit, And Sydney Sanders got hurt, so she got some opportunities to start, play first base, and her bat was red hot. So Patty's like, I got to figure out a way to keep her in this lineup. She was their 3-hole hitter last weekend.
Did she go? She did not.
And that's the changeup again, the off-speed pitch, the pitch in the low 60s, mid-60s. That's the pitch, though, that Pickens needs to land. Right now, it's a little non-competitive, and I'm sure that's why Sophia Nugent is coming out and talking a little bit about trying to get that pitch a little bit.
Why can't you just live at 78, 79 miles an hour? I mean, as a hitter.
Ella Parker, take that at bat. I mean, you might get it by certain hitters a few times, but I'll tell you what, I want to face velocity because you just get the barrel there and it's going somewhere. You need the off speed to go with it.
Down the line, foul. This Oklahoma offense, 5th in the country in scoring, 2nd Ohio State in home runs with 6 different double-digit home run hitters. And here's the other thing, more walks than strikeouts on the season.
Way more. Yeah.
Under the direction of their hitting coach, JT Gasso, Patty's eldest son. It's a whole new analytical world, and he's one of the guys driving the bus.
Does a really good job of understanding the difference of body types, athleticism, what each hitter brings, and not having one way to hit.
Oppo for Barker, and that's a fair ball. She'll hold at first. Good relay in from Gabby Leach, but the tying run aboard and the go-ahead coming to the plate for OU.
Great at bat. Sydney Parker fouling off all those pitches to get one that she could drive. 8 pitches in that at bat.
And here comes Sid Sanders. 1 for 10 so far in this NCAA tournament, but she's had a knack for big swings here in Oklahoma City.
That was a big swing right there. Of course, it ends up being against the off speed at 66.
Big on conditioning, big on her personal fitness in the offseason. A whole new look for her athletically. Even off the field, Patty Gasso says she's showing more personality in her senior season. Wanting to finish on her terms in her last go-round. Pickens goes upstairs to get her. Holly Rowe?
Well, people know that Oklahoma have won the last 4 straight national championships, but what you might not know, they have 14 new players here. 6 out of the 9 position players have not been in this moment before. For Patty Gasso, to quote her, she said, I can't believe we freaking made it here. They're very excited that this team had the wherewithal to reload, rebuild, and still be right here. But just pointing out, I feel like there's a little nerves here. This is a big crowd, a lot of OU fans. This is a big moment for these youngsters.
Well, they paid Bedlam at Devon Park this year.
Ground ball to short. They'll get the lead runner as Mueller goes to dodge. 2 down.
And they were a little shaky in that first inning against Oklahoma State. A couple of defensive errors. And, you know, Patty Gasso wanted this young team in this environment, knowing that they punched a ticket to the World Series. It was going to be even a bigger environment.
I mean, I'd say 10 times the crowd. And not to knock Bedlam, it was packed. It was loud, but it was not like this. Women's College World Series opening day, the amount of eyeballs, not just here in the stands, but everyone's watching. You feel it. First timers, and there's a whole slew of them for Oklahoma.
First time in a long time, not the preseason favorites. They did end up spending 5 weeks at #1 this year. Patty deliberately, with a younger team, did not play the difficult pre-conference schedule that they usually do, knowing as well that the SEC was going to be brutal. They had some rough patches in conference play, but sure enough, ended up winning the SEC.
Yeah, even though they lost 3 series, which just shows how competitive the SEC was this year.
But she said that all those were tests, trying to peak when they got here. Pickens, a 1-2 to Emmerling.
Great job by Sophia Nugent. We talk a lot how hard it is to hit Pickens. Can you imagine trying to catch her? It's way over her hedge. Saved a runner from advancing. Get up.
Boy, it's wild to think that Nugent was once a catcher at Oklahoma. So was Jocelyn Erickson. Couldn't break into the starting lineup behind Kinsey Hansen. They both transfer, so it's the hitter, Bella Emmerling, who transfers in and takes over the job.
That's right.
The strange new world we live in. But not for Karlyn Pickens. Couple of strikeouts in the inning. 2-1 Tennessee.
Karlyn Pickens throws with a lot of velocity. You could see this pitch, a rise ball at the upper part of the zone, but she also throws with a lot of passion and energy. Pickens with the strikeout.
Sam Landry, of course, got one of the golden tickets.
Yes, she did.
She will be playing in the AUSL as well.
Big summer pro softball coming. It feels different than attempts in the past to get it going.
Yeah. Well, and the relationship with MLB is just going to be a springboard to help give it credibility as well, right?
Yes.
People need that. Hopefully we can get some facilities built and
Smitty, that's the question we get asked all the time. When is Major League Baseball going to get behind the way we see NBA, WNBA, so many other entities?
Panel ground ball to short. Garcia rifles it over to first. Deep in that 5-6 hole. Got there. 1 down.
This ball is going to sneak past Nelly at third, but Garcia has been so good at covering behind her, so much speed getting in that 5-6 hole, and the quick release, that's what gets the out.
Ella Dodge out in front of the change.
I got your back. I love it. They
So
have
awesome.
for each other. That left side so strong.
2 freshmen over there on the left side. Ella Dodge struck out on a curveball her first time up. That's the lone strikeout one time through the order for Landry. Hey, the Women's College World Series opening day today. All building towards the finals and the championship series next Wednesday. Game 1, best of 3. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships as we celebrate the 20th year of the championship series. Last time we had a 3-game series, 2021, that Oklahoma-Florida State showdown. Full count to Dodge as the pitch count continues to rise quickly here for Landry.
Yeah, 50 pitches here in the top of the third.
Fifth 3-ball count already, 4th full count. Got some activity now in the Oklahoma bullpen for the 2nd time today. Peyton Monticelli out there. Junior transfer from Wisconsin. And Dodge draws the walk. Holly?
Well, you just saw that great teamwork with Nelly and Gabby in the 5-6 hole there. And Nelly was telling me a cute story. She said, we had a game and there was an error by Gabby. And the next day, she's like, she had 3 buckets of ground balls hit to her. And Gabby was like, I'm never going to let you down again. And she's like, she's so hard on herself if she makes an error. So I really love it that it was Gabby that had Nelly's back in that moment.
Well, you know, the defense is high on Patty Gasso's to-do list.
This is a team as new as they are on the infield, with the exception of Sid Sanders. Just 32 errors on the year, one of the best defensive clubs. And that left side with Nelly and Gabby, just vacuum cleaners over there. Been outstanding.
Nugent had the sacrifice fly to bring in a run in that 2-run first inning for Tennessee.
We were with a bunch of the Oklahoma alums last night, and they were talking about, hey, there is nothing like a Patty Gasso defensive practice. Like, you will be there all day if you have to make sure it is perfect.
Tried to jam her.
Speaking of the alums.
Yeah. Pitch underneath the hands.
Oh, boy. Everybody's an umpire. Nugent pops it up. There's Garcia at short. 2 down. Nice look from above. 12,000 plus. The capacity here at Devon Park. Don't see many empties.
No, he's standing.
Not when the Sooners are playing, even not in the other sessions.
Afternoon doubleheader, and then 2 more coming tonight. Nigeri Kennedy likely to be the pitcher in that first game this evening for Texas Tech. Against an Ole Miss team, boy, are they fun to watch. Outscoring opponents in the NCAA tournament 41-40. With a couple of upsets over Arizona and Arkansas to get here for the first time. And then the nightcap. Speed to burn from Eugene. And an outstanding power-hitting freshman, Riley McCoy. And then that lethal UCLA combo of Megan Grant and Jordan Woolery. Home runs and runs batted in, 2 of the best to do it in a single season in Westwood. Boo Gibson, and it's out of the glove of Cassidy Pickering, who drops it. Throw to the plate, not in time. Sliding in safely is Ella Dodge. And it's 3-1 Tennessee. Patty Gasso wondering if they should challenge.
I think you got to challenge, but it's a very close play at home. How about Karen Weekly, though, deciding, I will send the runner, Smitty. She heard you. Drop fly ball. This is a ball that obviously has to be catched. Definitely an E7. Beautiful dive at home. And she's in there.
Yeah, she is in there. That's a great slide by Ella Dodge, going to the back half of the plate and just getting that arm in. Nice tag by Emmerling, but that throw just a split second too late.
I can't believe they ruled it a hit, but they did. I mean, that was in and out of the glove of Pickering and left.
Well, and that play just shows why the inning earlier, in my opinion, you have to send Mueller. You've got to make them make everything perfect.
RBI single for Boo Gibson. And Dodge started that with a walk, so a free pass comes in to score and hurt OU.
Great base running, though.
Yeah, 2 outs. You've got to be on your horse. And Ella Dodge is a spark plug. Karen Weekly said, I want her on the infield.
Ground ball to short. Garcia to Agbayani. And they get the force out. But another one up for Rocky Top. On top, 3-1. Texas Tech or Ole Miss, one of them about to celebrate the first World Series win in program history. A couple of debutantes in town. And then the old foes from the West Coast, UCLA and Oregon.
Let's go.
Whew. Big Ten after dark, still trying to get used to that. But
call it the pack after
hey,
dark.
that's why it's mayhem. 3-1 Tennessee opening day. Looking for a win over Oklahoma, the 4-time defending champs. And our first reminder that 90% of the national champions have started out their title runs with an opening day win. Only 4 times has a team lost their first game and come back to win the title. Abby Dayton, 9 and then the top to face Karlyn Pickens. And if you're scoring at home, they have now changed the Boo Gibson RBI single to an error on Pickering out in left that the run came in to score on. That's in for a strike at 67 miles an hour from Pickens.
Dayton actually hit pretty good against Pickens in the regular series, had a home run off of her. See how they attack her in this 9-hole. Pickens has a tendency when she's almost too fresh to throw through her spins and has a little bit of, I don't want to say control issues, but see the ball slip out of her hands at times.
I think Sophia Nugent would be okay if you said control issues. She gets a workout behind the plate.
Absolutely, she does.
But they do like the uncertainty that it puts into a batter's head, that you're not quite sure where that 78-mile-an-hour pitch is coming.
Effectively wild.
Yes.
In addition to the padded batting glove that she has to wear underneath the catcher's
pit pocket.
Good job.
Catch that kind of velocity that we've never seen in college softball.
Right back to Pickens in the backhand. Even her throws over to first are at 78 miles an hour. One down. Hey, how about Game 5, NHL Western Conference Finals? Can the Canadians break through and bring the cup back north of the border? Edmonton's going to give it a shot. They're up 3-1 on Dallas. Oilers looking for a spot in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Panthers. Coverage begins with the point at 7:30. I believe the last Canadian side to win it was 1993. Of course, the Panthers won it last year, looking strong again this year. Here's top of the order in Cassidy Pickering. Flew out to right her first time around.
Cassidy Pickering, one of a few hitters in this lineup that kind of opens up that front toe to face Pickens. Very unique stance. Thinks about the drag bunt. You don't see that very often. We talked about her postseason numbers, 9 home runs in 2 postseasons. She is definitely a power hitter at the top of this order. But reading the defense, seeing an opportunity. Front toe pointed towards Pickens to clear her hips, allows her to get to the inside pitch.
Speaking of said inside pitch, she'll pull that to second. 2 down, and here comes the home run hitting Ella Parker.
What she did, her last at bat, so impressive. Remember, first pitch, 76 miles an hour, and it's blew it by her, got inside her kitchen. Then the adjustment. This is 2 pitches later. Parker understanding, you want to come back in here? Well, I'm going to get my front foot down and get to the same pitch I missed just 2 pitches prior.
Ability to adjust pitch to pitch to pitch is amazing.
Within an at bat.
Yeah, only 7 have hit a homer off of Pickens this season. Ella's one of them.
And a lot of times, you know, for batters, it's going back into the dugout. You know, you've got all this information, then you have a different plan. She did it herself within the at-bat, knowing I know she's going to come back here, but she's not going to get me again.
Yeah, well, I swung and missed it. I'm not going to swing and miss it.
So now what's Pickens' adjustment here this time around?
Well, she just went hard to the outside part of the plate.
2 All-Americans.
That's the pitch.
That's the pitch.
Yes.
There it is, 2-2.
That pitch is still a little quick. If she can dial that down to 62 miles an hour, I think it becomes a lot more effective.
Oh, All-American.
Look at it.
Back and forth. You take me down, I'm going to come back and take you down.
Pickens knows the power of Parker, so she sets her up with the changeup on the outer half, and then the strikeout. She uses the rise ball, the two-seam rise ball with great movement at the top of the zone at 72 miles an hour for the strikeout.
Down to the field with Holly.
Well, Coach, Karlyn Pickens is going up against Ella Parker in that last moment. Parker had a home run off of her. What did you see on the strikeout?
I thought she used her changeup effectively. So 2-0, she landed one, and then got her chasing out of the zone.
You guys came out of the bat. The very first person gets on. How has that aggressive mindset really impacted this game so far?
Well, we're swinging at what we want to swing at for the most part. And when we're not having good at-bats, that's the thing. You know, she's a really, really good pitcher, and you've got to be really locked into your game plan.
What is it that you want to swing at?
Things that are right around the belt that we can actually get a barrel on. I mean, good pitchers, you start chasing up, down, in and out. You just got to make them bring the ball over the plate. And I like our discipline.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly. And Coach Karen Weekly's side on top 3-1. Sam Landry set to go to work. Some defensive changes in the outfield here for Oklahoma. This is something they've been tinkering with throughout the year.
The outfield is different. Everyone in a different position.
The luxury to be able to have so many great outfielders defensively as well as hitters.
Yeah, Cassidy Pickering moves from, she's got it,
Left over to right. Hannah Kors in center, and Abby Dayton in left. Seven, 8, and 9 for Tennessee. Here's Kinsey Fiedler. Lined out to second base, her first time up. Drop on the dirt.
I think it's going to be important here with 7, 8, and 9 up for Sam Landry to really try to have an efficient, clean inning. The lower half of this order for Tennessee coming up. I mean, every inning so far, there's been a lot of traffic, a lot of pitchers under duress, which, you know, during a game, it wears you down. The offense has been on point.
7 have already reached base in the first 3 innings. They've been on the base paths each of the first 3 innings. One down as Fiedler is retired.
This is the part of the lineup where Landry would love a clean inning. 7, 8, 9. Of course, Emma Clark, who's up right now, had a double back in the second inning. There's a lot of aggressive swinging from this Tennessee offense. We saw them a little more passive last weekend, but trying to get ahead, swinging earlier in counts.
Yeah, they have come here ready to go today. Aggressive, getting after it.
Well, I think when you beat Jordy Ball in a series, it gives you confidence, right? I mean, you think about her ability to pitch, right? The rise, the changeup, the drop, all the things that Sam Landry, as well as get her out. That's an offense for Nebraska that was very strong.
Beat OU in the regular season, beat Texas in the regular season, a team they might face if they win this game on Saturday here.
So interesting when the best version of yourself shows up, right? And for some teams, unfortunately, it doesn't show up at the end of the year. Feels like Tennessee's starting to get to that point. And on the flip side, Oklahoma has constantly, for the last 4 years, been the best versions of themselves throughout the season.
Really 12 years going back to that 2013 national championship. I mean, they've won 6 of the last 8. Either Oklahoma or Florida has been in the championship series in 13 of the last 15 years.
It's amazing.
Another 3-ball count here. 5th full count of the day for Landry. And Clark draws the walk. Holly?
Well, Tennessee has had a book club all year. They read a book together and discuss chapters as the season goes on. And the book this year is called Twin Thieves. It's a wonderful book about the 2 thieves of joy. One is fear of failure, fear of judgment. And it's an allegory about a football team that tries to chase a championship. And the player said, it's so weird. Every chapter seems to correlate with what we're going through at the time. But note, that team does go on to win a championship.
I love that.
A little bit of Holly Rowe foreshadowing, perhaps. They hope so in Knoxville.
Fear of failure and fear of judgment. I mean, those are 2 huge takeaways that this Tennessee team definitely is applying.
Well, we heard him talking about it in the studio, you know, between games. Reminiscent of the team that came here with Monica Abbott. You've got that flamethrower, you've got that ace in the circle. They came up a bit short. They've played in the finals twice now, Tennessee has. And only Oklahoma State has been here more than Tennessee without a trophy. So this is a big opportunity for them right out of gate to send a message to nobody else themselves. Hey, we're in it to win it.
Well, they definitely have all the tools, right? They have the ace pitcher. They've got an offense that can be explosive. It's fielding behind that ace pitcher and getting everything clicking.
Morgan fights off the 0-2 pitch. Freshman out of Columbia, Tennessee. A short gamer for much of the year, and defenses were shifting on her. Oklahoma was one of them, so was Texas. Really overplaying her to the left side. And Karen Weekly said, what do you think about hitting away? And Savaya, who's kind of quiet and shy, said, well, sure, I mean, I did that in high school. And Karen said, what?
Well, she has so much speed, 25 stolen bases on the year. She still gets pulled in left side, but when you can hit for power, that's the key.
Just keep them guessing a little bit. Working this at bat. Most of the time, pitch count doesn't matter as much, right, in softball? Especially if you stay in the winner's bracket, you get a day off. But now as that pitch count for Landry keeps rising and rising, there is a chance if the score holds, they got to come back and play again tomorrow.
And they've had to use a staff. I mean, they've used a lot of pitchers this year behind Sam Landry, and she's absolutely been their ace.
Ground ball to short. Garcia, Agbayani turns it to Sanders, double play. Tennessee thinking about a challenge. Looks like they'll pass on it. Oh,
she's
and they
very safe.
Should challenge.
Yeah.
And still waiting. Apparently not. All right. 3-1 Tennessee.
Well, Coach Gasso, I know your team has played on this field before this season, but it wasn't the World Series. What are you noticing about how they're playing right now?
A little bit tight. I think everybody kind of comes in feeling that way. We have had experience here, but a lot of them have not. And we've got 4 more opportunities, 4 full innings to swing the bat. We talked about leaving it on the field, engaging the crowd. I think they're starting to do it for us, so we just got to make contact.
Sam Landry in this circle, what are you seeing from her right now?
Kind of grittiness. I think she came out a little bit tight. Can't give up runs early. Well, you can give up runs early because you give us opportunity throughout the rest of the game to make it up. So we're playing like we're down by 7, and we're only down by 2. So we kind of reset our mindset and see what happens.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, they're going to have to go up against Pickens to try to get those 2 runs back. And Pickens has been good. That's a screwball picking up the strikeout against Nellie Mack, but it's been the changeup she's used effectively along with the rise ball, that 2-seam rise ball that's got good movement at the top of the zone. Karlyn Pickens, when she is throwing that pitch effectively and can get hitters to bite and swing through it, she is the best in the game. That ERA at 1, a whip at a .89.
And it's back to work against Nellie Mack and Romarinas. 3, 4, and 5 for the Sooners. First 2 batters. Well, Parker had the solo home run. One of just 2 hits so far off of Pickens, what Patty Gasso was referencing. Got to start getting barrel on ball.
It's interesting, too, because when Cindy Barker's time in the lineup comes back up, she's the only one to batter with a hit, a nice hard hit opposite field. I know they replaced her defensively.
Hannah Core is still listed right now in the batting order. Let's see who comes out of the dugout.
Had a great at bat against Pickens.
Substitution and re-entry rules. A lot easier to come back and forth than it is in baseball. If you're removed, you can return once.
That rise ball at the top of the zone. Nellie Mack was not happy with that call.
Well, and then to be able to take, that's impressive to me. And she yelled out no, because you get a rise ball that's called at the top of the zone. It's so hard as a hitter then to decipher which one's a ball, which one's a strike. She did just that.
Full count. Lost her. And the tying run will come to the plate for the Sooners.
Channeling a little bit of Alyssa Brito, chucking the bat after a walk. I mean, this is what they need. They need momentum. They need base runners. I know it's a walk, but this is a momentum starter, a great at-bat. And watch her throw the bat and look into her dugout saying, let's go. That's your captain right there, even as a freshman. And there's Alyssa Brito in the stands, what she's been known here the last few years.
So now Gabby Garcia, 20 home runs on the season. Only the 4th freshman to ever do it at Oklahoma, joining Lauren Chamberlain, Jocelyn Allo, and Tiare Jennings. All likely Hall of Famers at Oklahoma. Out of Chandler, Arizona. A Women's College World Series legacy. Her mom, Cara Brun, played here with Arizona State back in the 2000s.
Yeah, and she's been a difference maker since the day she stepped on campus. Garcia has just been a force.
6 homers this month alone, and Pickens gets her to chase out of the zone. Strikeout number 5.
That is a big get for Karlyn Pickens because Gabby Garcia just has one of those bats that shows up in magical moments. That's a screwball in the outer half. It's got a little up, a little out. Really getting that pitch to run away. Look at the ump cam on this. You can just see how hard it is to hit that pitch at over 71 miles an hour.
You get up into the mid-70s, your reaction time is comparable to a 100-mile-an-hour pitch in baseball. And with Pickens approaching 80, now you're talking 110 miles an hour. That's not a lot of time to react to the plate.
I mean, no thank you. 0-2 right now. Pickens is on another gear. We saw her start this game strong. She did give the homer up, but now she is dialed in after that walk to Nellie Mack.
Well, I think she got upset maybe about the reaction. Exactly. When giving up that walk. Because she has absolutely dialed it up.
Three pitches in about 10 seconds for strikeout number 6.
Don't throw the bat on Pickens.
Well, 5 of the last 6 pitches have been strikes. Look at these rise balls, Jess. Wow.
I mean, she's just another level, because to me, it's not just the velocity. That's what gets the sexy numbers. It's that spin right there, doing both. She is fired up to another level right now.
That was against Barker, who had singled off of her earlier in the game. Can she strike out the side? Here's Sanders. Pickens does not shy away from the big moments, the big matchups. The 2 fastest pitches ever recorded, one was against Bree Ellis, the other was against Jordy Ball.
When you need to dial it up a notch, those are the hitters you need to dial it up against. And she's doing it here, too. I mean, she's in a situation where she's matching energy for energy.
We asked her about that. Surely you must know, right, when you're up against another heavyweight. And she just kind of gave us a wry smile. I may notice.
She competes, and a lot of times the pressure, all eyes are on the pitcher. I mean, I love talking hitting, I love talking all the positions, but this is what the game comes down to, is the circle. And Pickens loves these moments.
It's the most important piece of real estate in sports, and right now she's owning it. And yet Oklahoma, one swing away from a tie game. Ball 4. And that'll bring the go-ahead run up. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, couple of walks in the inning.
Oklahoma doing a good job of laying off some of those pitches that are out of the zone, and that's the key with someone like Pickens in the circle. You have to swing at pitches that are in the zone, that are strikes.
Well, it's also one of the things for a pitcher when the adrenaline's going. It's also hard to control your pitches.
Plenty of drama already today and more to come tonight. Ole Miss taking on Nigeri Kennedy and Texas Tech. She's back for the 3rd time, but with a new team this time around. And then the Oregon Ducks, that beautiful blend of speed and power, taking on the 12-time national champion UCLA Bruins. Megan Grant, Jordan Woolery, and a pitching staff with 3 arms. Opening day. Losers play tomorrow night. Winners play Saturday. And here's Another one of the Hawaiians wearing her dad's number 50 uniform. Then a major leaguer in his day.
Played for the Mets. The big bopper.
Well, they're starting to catch that rise ball a little bit out of the hand.
Now it's just a matter of picking the speed.
Akbayani and right down on the first baseline, and there's Boo. Gibson gets the out, a couple stranded, 4 in the books, and a 2-run Tennessee lead. All eyes on the Lady Vols and the Sooners. Opening day at the Women's College World Series, and a 3-1 Tennessee lead as we head to the 5th inning. And the greatest show on dirt opening up. More mayhem today. Right back to Landry. Fires over to first, and Gabby Leach is retired. It's the top of the order right here.
Sam Landry so good at fielding her position, allows Sid Sanders to be able to play back. It's a huge difference as a pitcher when you're able to go grab those short ground balls.
That'll bring up Taylor Pannell. This would be so big for Tennessee, probably for the rest of the field as well. Oklahoma has won 21 of their last 25 games here at the World Series. 4 straight natties.
Well, Oklahoma's given up runs this year. I mean, this isn't something new to have a 3-spot against Sam Landry, but their offense comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the biggest story for Oklahoma, is they've been able to out-hit other teams. It's not like they're shutting them out, keeping them quiet.
0-2 here, Landry to Taylor Pannell.
And that's the key, really, for Oklahoma, is they will match you blow to blow. So even if they may not out-pitch you, they're going to try to out-bash you. And then the other X factor is their defense. Their defense has just been good. They rarely hurt themselves. Now, they have an error in this game, but they rarely hurt themselves.
That error hurt them.
Yeah.
They live in the limelight. They live in the spotlight. And, you know, just take a peek at social media. So much of America either loves watching a dynasty or they love watching the dynasty fall. Got something for everybody this week at the World Series.
Well, that's the biggest storyline coming in. I mean, honestly, for the last few years is, will Oklahoma win it again, or will someone beat them? And if they do, who is it? Which team?
Florida had a win over them last year in the semis, and then Oklahoma came back to beat the Gators. Emmerling, and just in time to get Pannell. And I think Tennessee definitely wants to challenge that.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely.
looks safe.
She was safe. That was definitely safe. And you go back to last inning as well when Morgan was safe. A couple of calls at first that I think definitely need to be considered.
I'll paraphrase for you. The ruling on the field was out at first base for the second out of the inning. There is a challenge.
This is a tough play. Landry can't get to it. Emmerling has to get quickly and throw across her body.
She's there.
Yeah, she's there.
A lot closer, though, than I thought
Yeah.
live. I thought she was like almost a half a step.
Same.
Yeah, she's safe.
Yeah, definitely.
No. Ball is in the glove officially when it passes both sides. Brett sort of breaks the plane of both sides of the glove.
After further review, the play at first base has been changed. The runner is safe. Tennessee's first challenge of the game.
So Tennessee wins the challenge. And let's bring in our rules analyst, Christy Cuomo.
Yeah, so what they're looking at there is when the glove begins to close around the ball versus when the foot hits the base. So that's a good overturn by the folks in the replay booth.
Thank you, Christy. Foot on the bag before the glove wraps the softball. So a base runner here for Tennessee with 1 out. And Ella Dodge. She's been their fire starter the last few weeks. Walked and scored a run in the 3rd.
Amazing play at home plate, diving to the back of the bag.
Homered twice off of Jordy Ball last weekend, and her connection to Oklahoma, it was during the Sooner series in the regular season that she started for the first time at second base and had a game-winning home run to clinch the 3rd game of that series in Norman.
Karen Weekly talked about her energy, that she wanted that energy mostly at second base, really to get the infield, to get everybody together and communicating and just step everything up a level. The bat has absolutely been a bonus in big clutch situations.
Plus, she's got a whole lot of confidence. I mean, just sitting down with her yesterday, you could see not just the energy and the smile, but also just like, I'm really good. I got this. Like, facing Oklahoma is not intimidating to her. She's a huge leader for this team at a young age.
You see her big swings this year.
Well, she had a great youth career. She played for a couple of different organizations, Georgia Impact, Tampa Mustangs, Clearwater Lady Bombers. And when you're playing sometimes as guest player and for other programs, you bring that energy because you have to figure out, like, what can I contribute? And she's done that, and she's obviously brought it here to Tennessee.
Couldn't wait to get here, by the way. She left school a semester early, graduated high school.
Yeah.
And was with them last spring. And stepping onto the field this year.
Well, that's big, just to be in that environment, to learn. Just that growth.
2-2 from Landry. You know, we've talked about whether or not it's the return of the ace here at the World Series, but the other big discussion all year long was, do you have an out pitch? And the number of foul balls this year has been through the roof.
Through the roof.
With hitters just fighting off pitch after pitch.
Well, and that's why the strike zone is so important. You know, pitchers need to be able to get that pitch that is just nicking the corner. It's a three-dimensional strike zone, right? It's where it breaks the plane at the front, travels through the zone.
Full count. A rocket out to center, and on the run is Hannah Core trying to double off the runner at first, and they got her. The outfield assist from deep left center into first base to get Panel.
Well, Taylor Panel, where are you going? That's first up. You got to give the love. Hannah Core coming off the bench defensively to make this throw for the double play. Your 8-3 double play. And Sam Landry absolutely loves getting herself out of that inning.
Bo Jackson.
Lady Vols up 3-1, headed into the bottom of the 5th. I ever wonder what it's like to get in the batter's box against Karlyn Pickens? You don't really want to know, but this is what it looks like from our up cam. That's called a sword, a very awkward swing because the velo, the off speed, has been on for Pickens. Pickens.
Yeah, and the rise ball, it's just jumpy at the top of the zone. It looks like it's a cookie, and then it's past you. Just the velocity, the spin, the speeds, the movements. Karlyn Pickens showing why she is one of the best in the game. 5 of those strikeouts on the rise ball, 1 on the screwball. She has been taking a little bit off of those pitches as well. Trying to keep these Sooner hitters off balance.
I love those looks. The cam, I mean, just to be able to be in the batter's box and understand it.
Bella Emmerling stepping in. It's 8-9 in the top. 3 innings for the Sooners still to work with. Try and stay in the winner's bracket here at the World Series. Emmerling struck out on a rise ball back in the second.
I think that's the hardest thing with Pickens right now is she's throwing 3 different speeds. So it's not just the changeup and that high velocity 76. We're seeing 70, 71 mixed in.
And that's typically a rise ball. So her hard stuff is usually 73, 74. That's fastball, drop ball, a little bit of potentially screwball, something lower in the zone. The rise ball up in the zone is going to be 69-ish, and the changeup is typically 64 to 66. But she hasn't landed that a lot today. We've not seen many pitches 62 to 64. That's the fastball, 75. That's the ball that has all that heat on it. It's got more gyro spin, so it's got that spin that looks almost more screwballish. Doesn't move a lot.
I think I saw flames, actually.
It's a radio ball. You can hear it, but you can't see it.
That's 3 walks now to the last 6 batters as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, you're talking about Karlyn Pickens. She's using 3 different speeds. We talked to her about that. You know, she came in and Karen Weekly said she was a chucker, but now she's a pitcher. And she said, I really have had to develop my pitching and learn finesse. She said, I'm just now starting to unlock all of my tools. You're seeing that with the 3 different speeds, but she's got to tune it up right here and not give away those 3 passes.
Well, Holly, she's been her best. When we saw her at Supers, I think it was at Game 3 because she actually was slightly fatigued. She wasn't throwing through her spins. She had better movement, but you know, she's also throwing different pitches this year. More drop ball, more down in the zone, a little bit more rise ball as well. So less fastball and trying to rely more on the movement vertically.
So Pickens running into a little bit of a bother here. The last couple of innings, Oklahoma had 2 on base in the 4th. And now for the 2nd inning in a row, they bring the tying run to the plate in Abby Dayton, the 9-hitter. And that has Tennessee pitching coach Megan Rhodes Smith, the former Lady Vol hurler, out there to talk with Karlyn. 5 of the 7 pitches this inning out of the zone. Dayton swung it well against Pickens in their regular season matchup, had 3 hits off of her. The transfer from Utah, one of the few with some World Series experience. She was here with the Utes a couple of years ago. Has a hit in 5 straight games. And just like Patty Gasso was calling for, here comes the home crowd.
Cassidy Pickering and Ella Parker, the next 2 batters. Biggest swings, home run hitter 2 later, Cassidy Pickering. You do not want to get him another free pass.
Yeah, this is a 9-hole hitter. This is it right here. You've got to go right at Dayton.
To second, Dodge steps on the base, over to first, and safe. Down the line is Dayton. But they get Malloy at second, 1 down.
I think Ella Dodge is wondering if they should challenge that, because I think she was thinking she potentially had the double play.
Ella Dodge is adamant that she's out. Why not? Here in the bottom of the 5th inning with the 2 best hitters for Oklahoma coming up, if you have a chance to get a double play here on the call.
Ooh. No.
She's safe.
Dayton's
Yeah,
there.
she's safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
Top of the order. And the 2 All-Americans lined up back-to-back for OU. Huge NCAA tournament thus far. Quiet today. Ground out to first. That'll move Dayton to second with 2 down for Parker. Oklahoma's offense. 6 strikeouts today, nearing their poorest showdown of the season, which also was against Tennessee in that strikeout department. So Parker 1 swing away from a tie game.
Well, with first base open, I mean, I know you still got to pitch to Nelly and Garcia and everybody else behind her, but with first base open, I wouldn't give her anything too good. I mean, she's proven that she can go yard off you.
How about Pickens, too? Just knowing, like you said earlier, Beth, when she's facing the best in a lineup, the hardest pitch she just threw in this game was against Parker on that first pitch.
You try telling the All-American that she can't pitch to her.
He wants to step it up.
Karlyn got her swinging at a rise ball her last time up.
Yeah, and that's the difference. If you're striking out as a pitcher, if you're striking the batter out, or if you're trying to get the batter to strike themselves out.
Yeah.
In this situation, see if Parker will strike herself out. Goes to a screwball on the outer half.
I would live there.
Yes, 100%.
All day.
That's off the plate.
2-2.
And look at the adjustment she makes. They go back out there and she still fouls it straight back. I mean, just missed that pitch.
Full count. Drilled out to left, and Pickens wins that battle. Ends the threat as she gets Parker to line out. 3-1, Lady Vols. We've seen some flamethrowers come in here. We've seen aces throw every pitch here. We've seen a pitcher come in with 1 pitch. Taryn Mowat's changeup, Megan Langenfeld's screwball, and win a championship. Who's it going to be this year? Where legends are made, where heroes are born, where big NIL deals get struck next year. The ring's the thing. Dating all the way back to the very first one in 1982, led by UCLA's Debbie Doon. And here we are 43 years later, still going strong. 20 years of the championship series. yanks it foul. So this is the third time in history that one conference has had an entire side of the bracket. SEC 2015, Pac-12 1999. On both of those occasions, one of those teams won the national championship. See if it plays out this time around. There's a fifth team here as well, Ole Miss, on the other side of the bracket, which ties the records from 99 and 15.
Sophia Nugent with the Michaela Edenfield eye makeup. It's a catcher thing.
And I love it when they make it almost like a mask underneath their mask.
Yeah.
You know.
I know a lot of people on social media have been also wondering about Sam Landry's glasses, how they stay on her head like that. Hairspray. Holly Rowe got to the bottom of that for us.
Told us yesterday.
I'm going to guess Aquanut. Pop up to the left side. Garcia's there. One down. That'll bring up Boo. Gibson a ground out in the first, and then an error, reached on an error in the third that brought in a run. That fan wants a Boo bomb, AKA home run.
I feel like she's due. I mean, she's been a huge force for this team so many years too, and hasn't had the numbers that I know she's wanted. Happy to see that go to 0 in the postseason.
And now the pitch count hits 100+ for Sam Landry. Couple more innings to go.
Rangers continuing to really try to use that drop ball. Falling behind to Gibson.
And Gibson aboard with one out. Third walk issued by Landry today. I think Tennessee's going to get a pinch runner out there. Katie Taylor. With Laura Mueller stepping to the plate. Singled in the second. Grounded out to short in the third. In for a strike at 68 miles an hour. Laura had a grand slam in the regionals this year. Smacks that back up the middle of a base hit. Taylor will stop at second. 2 on with 1 out.
Mueller's second hit of the game. First it was off a changeup, almost at her ankles. Now she gets something at 69 miles an hour, drives it up the middle. 75 miles an hour off the bat. That's enough to poke it through.
Kinsey Fiedler has kept Agbayani busy at second base twice. Winner of this one will get Texas on Saturday afternoon. They beat Florida today 3-0. Tegan Kavan a 2-hit shutout, and Jolie Mitchell a 2-home-run day.
Longhorns were swinging it.
Gators will play tomorrow night against the loser of this game. Jen Roach out there chatting. Tennessee looking for its first win against Oklahoma in their World Series history. They were together in the 2013 National Championship. And Oklahoma has not lost an opener since 2021. These are the only clubs that lost the opener and came back to win. And look at, very conspicuous at the top of that list is indeed Oklahoma in 2021. That started their four-peat.
Well, with the new format, it's actually even more feasible now. It's a big part of it.
Yeah. They actually lost twice that year because they lost to Odyssey Alexander and JMU on opening day, came back to beat them in the semis, and lost one of the games in the Champ Series to Florida State before winning the title.
Terry Jennings was on that Oklahoma team, standing next to Patty Gasso there in the dugout. Has a memory of that.
Fastest path here is to go 5-0. Three straight wins will get you into the championship series, which starts next Wednesday, and you got to win 2 of those. And both pitchers here in the late innings showing some signs of labor. And I would imagine, Smitty, that's when your focus has to be laser sharp. One mistake,
100%.
one lapse.
Yeah. And it becomes instead of a 2-run deficit, of a 5-run deficit.
And what Patty Gasso told Holly Rowe earlier in the ball game, just a reminder that this is all new for 6 of the 9 that are on the field for Oklahoma. First time going through this World Series experience. 3-2 pitch to Fiedler.
Wow, Fiedler has been battling. Pitch prior, changeup, fouls it off. Hard up, 70 miles an hour. Fouls it back.
And now some more activity in the bullpen for Oklahoma. Kirsten Deal, the lefty. Did Fiedler check it? Nope. And a strikeout for Landry. Just her second of the ball game, and the first one since the first inning.
And this was a huge strikeout for Landry. She needed this out. She comes back to the changeup, the flip change, so it's spinning in the opposite direction. It's moving. And Fiedler had a great at-bat, but does not identify this changeup. Why? The pitch location. Look at where it is. It's below the knees. That's where you get hitters to bite at that pitch.
Emma Clark with 2 outs and 2 on. Down the line, fair ball, and jumping in to tag the base is Nellie Mack to get the force out. Heads up play by her to just dive back to third.
Nellie Mack wears that C on her chest as a captain. The redshirt freshman getting down and dirty, gets this ball, but knows she just needs that 1 out. Tagging the bag to get out of the inning. A huge, huge play for Oklahoma, and Sam Landry loving her defense.
And we welcome you back to the NCAA Women's College World Series. And time now for our Capital One rewarding performance.
And it is all Karlyn Pickens with her ability to throw with great velocity as well as spins. A couple of her strikeouts early in the game in the 60s, 67, 68 miles an hour. When she goes upstairs with that rise ball, she's going to dial it up to 70 to 72 miles an hour. That great movement through all parts of the zone. Karlyn Pickens, 6 strikeouts on the afternoon. Using multiple pitches, she has just been so good. Couple of free passes as of late, but she has retired 14 of the 20 batters that she has faced today.
And the numbers are noteworthy, by the way, because not many people are throwing those kinds of strikeouts at that kind of velocity.
Yeah, she's in a league of her own. This is the team with the top on base percentage coming into today's game. Oklahoma batting average as a team over 330. First program to hit 100 home runs in 6 consecutive years. I mean, the power numbers are off the charts.
What's been terrific, the Oklahoma 1-run, Ella Parker early in the game with a great adjustment at the plate for a homer, but then the next 2 times, a big strikeout for Pickens, and then gets Parker to line out with 2 on base to end that last inning.
The goal for Pickens is to not let her get up to bat again.
100%.
6 straight outs would be just fine with her. That's all that Oklahoma has left, or else they fall into the loser's bracket and must play tomorrow against Florida. The winner has Texas Saturday afternoon on ABC. Coverage on ABC both Saturday and Sunday this year. Two-2 to McEnroe Marinas. Has a hit in 5 of the last 6. Homered in the Supers against Alabama. A youngster that, like so many of the Hawaiians, to play travel ball, they will pay their own way to come to the mainland and hook up with the California team. Play on the mainland before heading back home. The commitment off the charts. And a called strike 3. Pickens did not like the way Nelly threw the bat back at the dugout her last time up with a walk, and gets her this time with the K.
Gonna battle on that outside corner, and that's a drop ball that, to me, that's something you got to go get. That's at the knees, on the plate.
Strikeout number 7. I think that's the first one with the drop today. One down for Gabby Garcia. Struck out on a screwball back in the 4th. Pickens knocks it down, and Garcia safe at first. 3rd straight inning. Oklahoma brings the tying run up.
And this ball well struck. It looks like it goes off of Pickens' foot. Gabby on time. Everybody trying to be that spark plug that ignites this team.
So now it's time for somebody to put on one of the hottest t-shirts in Norman right now. It says clutchness. One of Patty's quotes from her younger days in her career. They do not have a hit tonight with a runner on base. Here's Barker, the freshman. Singled in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th.
So many freshmen, so many new faces. Sydney Barker new to the starting lineup. Guess in the last couple weeks. Gabby Garcia, who got on base, also a freshman. Asking big things from these young players.
This is that line of those 3 freshmen in the lineup. I mean, think about it. They're hitting 3, 4, and 5. Nelly, Gabby, Sydney. I mean, one of the top programs, the top program, many would say, in the country. And your freshmen are hitting
rookie. High fly ball out to Morgan. 2 down. Well, you don't come to Oklahoma or to Tennessee to live in the shadows, do you?
Challenged to be on that dirt.
Drawn to the light. And they are the brightest here.
Now you have the one senior, one veteran senior in this lineup, Sydney Sanders. Feels like every player is a transfer or a freshman.
Well, they are now down to just 4 outs to work with. If you get Sanders here, then it would be the 7, 8, and 9 batters in the 7th inning. You could stay away from Pickering and Parker. But that requires this out. Right back to Pickens, and she's got it. To the 7th. Tennessee 3, Oklahoma 1. And that's the kind of day it's been for Karlyn Pickens, allowing just the 1 run on 3 hits. She has struck out 7 for Tennessee, 3 outs away from the upset of the 2-seed Sooners here on opening day at the World Series. They'll take some swings first here in the top of the 7th. And then have to deal with the bottom of the Oklahoma order to try and knock the defending champs into the loser's bracket. They have not squandered a late lead yet this year, or excuse me, in their World Series history.
Right now, just trying to tap the ball, just put it in play. And I mean, you talked about this earlier. The corners really play back because they trust that Sam Landry can get to anything. Nelly McEnroe-Marinas, a great arm, but you see how Sid Sanders plays back even with the bag.
Yeah, Morgan can get that a slow roller down the first baseline. She could walk down to the bag. We've also seen Nellie Mack come a long way from that third base position to pick up anything short.
2-2 pitch. Right back up the middle. And there's a moment for Morgan as we send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, you saw Tennessee is 12-0 when leading late in ball games, and there's a reason why. They have been mentally training themselves all season long with the team motto, KTP, PTK, and what that means is keep throwing punches, punch to kill. They've had boxing gloves in their dugout all year. I'm assuming they're behind the players there today. I noticed even Karlyn Pickens' rosin bat that she has in the circle with her has KTP, PTK on it, so they are going to continue to be aggressive late in innings, even though they have this lead. That's their mindset all season.
There they are. Up against one of the toughest schedules in the country this year. They won at Oklahoma. They won at Texas, a team that they could face if they win here today on Saturday afternoon. They rallied to beat Nebraska and Jordy Ball twice last weekend. Throwing those punches.
Got to stay in it, right? All 7 rounds.
Well, they were aggressive from the get-go. I mean, first pitch of this game, 2 consecutive hits. They scored 2 runs before you could blink. That's how you throw punches.
Well, and they were able to punch back too, right? That was the other thing. So Parker hits that home run, and they come back in the 3rd inning and put another run up on the board.
You get a leadoff single here. Leach, the leadoff batter, does not have a sacrifice bunt all season. Does not appear to be pondering that option here to advance the runner over with the heart of the order coming up.
She tried to put the first one down, didn't get it down. And sometimes coaches will do that. They'll either give you 1 strike to try to put it down, or vice versa. They'll give you 1 strike to hit, and then if you don't drive something, then they'll ask you to sacrifice. Most important, though, is you got to move your teammate up.
Off-speed hits, 2-2. $125th pitch coming.
Let's see how late she was on that with 2 strikes after the changeup prior. She had that in the back of her mind, making sure she's not going to get beat on something slow. She'd rather be late.
Pulls that out to right. Barker is there, and it's an unproductive out. 1 down. Taylor Panel. Big day for her mentally and physically at the plate. A double, scored a run in the 1st, singled in the 5th. A little dribbler out in front. But touching first base safely, that's been a big thing for her. And there's a shot off the glove of Mac Garcia, making a dive for it. And Panel.
3rd hit of the day.
Getting back in her groove.
She's been barreling up balls. She does on this one. Off the glove of Nellie Mack. Just the fact that she gets a glove on this, and Garcia even makes this a possible dive. But Panel continues to swing a hot bat here. Big part of the 2 runs they scored in the 1st.
Chance to pad the lead for Ella Dodge. Walked and scored in the 3rd. Send it down to Holly.
Well, Ella Dodge has been terrific at the plate here in postseason, and when we talked to her yesterday, she said something that just was fantastic. Her coach, TJ Goals, a youth coach, has taught her is be more excited to succeed than afraid to fail, and that's where she lives, and she's done that here in the postseason.
Yeah, she mentioned that, you know, if you want to hit that home run that wins the game, you also have to be willing to accept you may strike out.
Can she homer for the 3rd game in a row? With Morgan's speed at second, a single would be enough to bring her in, although the outfield is playing shallow.
So much speed on second base with Morgan. But also giving up the gap. I mean, anything hit into the gap right now is easily going to score 2 runs.
They've been taking some meaty 3-0 pitches today.
I was wondering if she was going to have the green light. It was a 2-0 changeup that took it to 3-0.
Couple singles in the inning for Tennessee. It is indeed nail-biting time.
She's got the Sam Landry glasses on. Almost identical.
Good job protecting on that changeup.
OU's got a thing with glasses. Remember G. Juarez a few years ago had the...
Sure, hers were more goggles.
Yeah, goggles.
You don't see these type of glasses on athletes, period. Usually you need the wraparound for it to stay.
I like the clear frame though.
Love it.
Dodge making her work. Full count. Bases loaded for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Sophia Nugent. Talked to us yesterday about her days at Oklahoma, said they pushed me to be a better player here. And it's been the same thing at Tennessee. Pushing me to improve on a daily basis. There was a logjam of catchers here a few years ago behind the great Kinsey Hansen. And Nugent was one of the ones that was here to win a ring and then went elsewhere for more playing time.
Now she leads this Tennessee team in home runs. She has been their big power hitter. See Craig Snyder right there, really digging in on the game plan. The understanding of when to hunt. If you're going to drive a pitch, it's not just about, Tim Walton talked about it last game, making contact, but finding that location and sitting on a pitch that you can drive hard.
Especially with one out. Perfect situation to really be able to go get it, drive it somewhere hard, get it on the green, because even something deep to the outfield is going to be a sacrifice fly with just the one out.
I'm wondering, I know something Sophia Nugent has done in the past is she'll back off the plate a little, look for something inside. Sam Landry will go there. If you're going to sell out on something you want to slug, it's that inner part of the plate.
Pinch runner out at second base for Tennessee is Amanda Allen. Couple of singles and a walk. Now they are loaded for Nugent. As Hansen looks on, the former catcher here. In that senior class that won 4 straight championships. When you have that kind of success, there's going to be kids coming and going in the portal. Has there been a slam for Tennessee here? Yes, there has. Aaron Webb, 2010 against the Dogs.
That was it. Nugent off the plate, spit on the changeup, first pitch, another pitch away. She just got something on the inner half, missed it, but that's what she's looking at.
Waits on it, rolls a ground ball to short. They get one over to first, double play. And Sam Landry gets him out of the bases loaded jam to keep it tight.
And one of the best defenses in the country picks up their 3rd double play of the game. None bigger with the bases loaded. Garcia Agbayani over to Sid Sanders with the really good stretch at first to get out of the jam.
Well, the Tennessee Lady Vols, a terrific showing in the circle for Karlyn Pickens, and they are 3 outs away from a win over Oklahoma. The Sooners in 2018, the last time a defending champ lost its first game the following year here. Again, 90% of national champions win on opening day. really tough to come out of the losers bracket. The loser will have Florida tomorrow night. The winner gets Texas Saturday afternoon on ABC. Tegan Cavan threw a 2-hit shutout today, and Jolie Mitchell 2 home runs for the Horns. And it is Karlyn Pickens time for Tennessee. Bottom of the order. 7, 8, or 9 has to get on to get Pickering or Parker out of the dugout with a bat in their hand. Just 3 hits off of Pickens, who has 7 strikeouts. Ilana Agbayani. The last 3 innings, Sooners have had a chance with the tying run at the plate. Denied all 3 times. What happens in the 7th with the tying run coming up?
And Karlyn Pickens, we talked about it with Nellie McEnroe-Marinas throwing down the bat after the walk back in the 4th inning. Karlyn Pickens does not like this one either. She gets the walk here. The bat slams down, and Pickens just stares her down.
The competitive juices flowing late as the Sooners fight for a walk-off. It's Bella Emmerling. Oh, and Pickens was supercharged on that one.
Yeah, 75 miles an hour coming underneath the hands. Bella has a big swing. If she catches up to something, she can send it a long way. She doesn't get cheated. That's one thing from the very first swing I saw with Bella Emmerling. I'm like, she does not get cheated.
She is one of their 6 hitters with double-digit home runs on the year. Got under it, and that'll get out of play.
Well, a lot of these Oklahoma hitters, too, they start with their hands low, and it'll even go lower. Bella Emmerling is one of the unique ones in this lineup. She gets her hands high, which is a good matchup for Pickens. If she can get on top of that rise ball, you see she's going to have more separation, more height with where she starts.
Got her with the swing and miss.
And that's Pickens' best changeup of the afternoon. It's coming in at 66 miles an hour. A lot of her other ones were in the high 60s. They were too fast. They were hanging through the zone. This one had a little bit of downward dip to it. Good over-the-top rotation. A little bit of movement at the end. Gets the swing and miss.
Big Orange looking for a big double play, so the top of the order can't come up. Dayton slashes that oppo. With Cassidy Pickering on deck.
Good job by Nugent. That gets past her. Agbayani's at second.
It's been a while. Back to their very first World Series that they've won a game trailing this late. Is there Sooner magic on this 25th anniversary to the day of their first national championship?
Good job of being patient, understanding that Pickens, we talked about it with Sam Landry, now 123 pitches, has not been able to hit the zone the way we've seen the first part of this game.
That was all just juice. Right down the gut.
All Americans digging deep. Gets her to pop it up. 2 down. And time for the All-American showdown and the last chance for Oklahoma. Pickens and Pickering. Cassidy's 0 for 3 today.
Oh, Pickens still bringing it 75 miles an hour, though. I mean, you get this many pitches, and she is still hitting her top velocity.
Ground ball and through out into center field. Out by Ani, racing for third. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for Ella Parker. Game winner stepping up. She won the first fight with Pickens, a home run. Karlyn won the second fight, struck her out with a rise ball. And then with runners on base in the 5th, Karlyn got her again.
You couldn't ask for a better way for this bottom of the 7th inning to go. Who do you want? You want Pickens and you want Parker. That's what we've got here.
It's really been unbelievable. The whole second half of this game, 3 of the last 4 innings, leadoff walks, Pickens, Parker, the battle for the last out of the game.
Outfield, that's Fiedler in center with boots on the warning track. Oh, and 1. Center field, Ella Parker walks it off for Oklahoma. Tears of joy for Parker as Tennessee chooses to pitch to her instead of walking her on base to throw to the freshman, Nellie Mack. And Parker delivers.
Even after the home run in the first inning that Parker hit, Pickens wanted to throw to her. She wanted the challenge. Parker gets out her next 2 at bats, but this one, 67 miles an hour, sends it out at 77. She has been the hottest hitter in the country the last month of the season. Absolutely on fire, but no bigger home run of her career than the walk-off she just had.
Her 14th and 15th home runs of the year, and the leadoff walk comes back to haunt Pickens.
4-3 your final. So in the winner's bracket on Saturday afternoon, it's a rematch of last year's championship series, Oklahoma and Texas. Tomorrow night, losers bracket, Tennessee and Florida. And Ella Parker is catching her breath as she stands alongside Holly Rowe.
Well, Ella, you are wiping away tears right now. Why so much emotion after that swing?
Just, going into it, I knew our fourth man was in the fire. And this team has done so much, and we've just battled and battled and battled. And just knowing that our fourth man was with us, I'm so emotional.
What did you see on the pitch?
I was just doing whatever to stay loose and pass the bat to my next teammate. Nothing else. Just keeping it simple.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, she doesn't have to pass that bat to her next teammate until Saturday afternoon because she is a walk-off winner. So tomorrow night, an elimination game for Florida and Tennessee, and Saturday in the winner's bracket, Texas and Oklahoma. The winner of that one is into the national semifinals. Got a doubleheader still to come tonight, but I'm sure you'll be seeing plenty of this swing right here.
I mean, this is, to me, the home run that she had prior. Inside pitch, 76. This one, 67, middle away, drives it out opposite field for the walk-off home run.
Sooners with some magic on the 25th anniversary of their first national title today. And they walk it off for Patty Gasso. Don't forget it's PTI next, and then later on ESPN2, the second half of our quadruple header.